Good morning, Hive fans. Welcome to Saturday morning here at Hive Central in Daytona Beach, Florida. I'm here with John Sandel from the frozen north. How are you today, John?
I'm good. It's a little warmer here, thankfully, but it's good to be here.
John is in
We're
St. Paul, Minnesota, USA. So that's quite a bit further north than me here in Florida, isn't it, John?
It is indeed. Though I have my friends in Texas feel like they're living in Minneapolis right now, so because they're
Yeah.
dealing with terrible winter weather, so
Sadly,
we're used to
it
this.
has been very bad there. Well, this morning we are here for uh, first the first leg of the 2021 Hive Rapid Grand Prix here at Board Space. This is the winter tournament, winter rapid tournament. We've got 24 players signed up so far. And were you looking at that list, John?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm excited for this list. First of all, a lot of new players, which is great. And if you're a
Yep.
newer player, I think this is a great way to get into competitive play because it's a friendly community and the people running it, we're all, just trying to help people learn the game. And and I think what I notice about the list is that there's going to be some good matches here, all the way across, top to bottom. I think it's going to be fun. So yeah, I mean, just to comment on a few, obviously, multiple world champion Quad Lebet will be the strong favorite if that matters. But Frasco gave him a really tough game and beat him last time in Rapid. I think he probably has more experience playing fast, and he's of course running the tournament and here. Max Sharks, DePonzo, Happy Kiwi, all very good players, and then another tier of solid players that are more on kind of my level, I would say. Keepers, Hawk, Shaturik, Claudio, Durka, and all of them solid players who know the game well. And the other thing that occurred to me as I was thinking about this field when I was looking just briefly yesterday is, Rapid is a very different game, right? You just
It
can't be
is.
quite as calculating. So I think there's a way that, I actually beat Happy Kiwi in the first Rapid last fall, and I've never come close to beating him. To me, it was like, wow, I really do think there's a way that it forces different style of play, and you have to kind of be a little more consistent with your plan. And so anyway, so it's fun. I just think it's exciting to mix it up.
You have to be able, in Rapid, you have to be able to look at patterns and look at situations and understand them rather than have that deep calculating 6, 8, 10 moves ahead. So it
Mm-hmm.
does require a different kind of experience. In fact, it's so different that in chess they have separate ratings for classical chess and for rapid and for blitz.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't aware of that until I taught a very high level chess player reached out to me and asked to give him some lessons on Hive because he was playing in the Olympiad. And so we started talking about his chess background, and he mentioned that specifically that there are, I said, how many players could beat you? And he said, how long do we have to play? He said, if it's
Hmm.
a standard, length tournament, there's only a handful in the world. But if it's a rapid tournament, there's hundreds. He said probably thousands that could beat him. And then I watched the Queen's Gambit, which is all about chess, and that is one of the themes in the end of the story. Of course, is this: could she play good rapid? So anyway, here we are. What fun! The other thing that's interesting to me about this event is this sort of series nature of it. So 24 people already in, and likely more because people can join any of these events. So the sort of question this time around is, other than the obvious top end players who will likely gain points from this, the question becomes, who from that next tier and the newer players can earn surprise points that helps them move on and do well in the next in the series, if you will.
Right,
So
as they
that's kind of
grow
cool.
over the course of the year. So that
Right,
will be very
right.
interesting.
Yeah.
So we're waiting right now for everybody to get logged in. Let's take a look at, here's the board space lobby. As you see, the lobby is filling up. And here are the 24 players that are scheduled to play, as John mentioned, led by 3-time world champion Quad Lebet. And then right behind him, Happy Kiwi and Stepan Opalev, who's up real early this morning. He lives on the west coast of the U.S., so it's 7 o'clock his time. He just was one of the co-winners of the recent tournament at Board Game Arena, a turn-based tournament that was being used as a qualification. So he's earned his invitation into the Hive World Championship later on in the year. So congratulations, Stepan. And let's see if I can get the Discord back open, see if they've started making pairings yet. They haven't started the pairings yet. Waiting for Francesco. He is the administrator for this tournament. We truly appreciate him doing that. We know it's a lot of work, so thanks, Francesco. So it should be very interesting. John will be with me for a little while, and then he has to go do family duties, get his family up and make breakfast. Is that what you said you were going to be doing, John?
Yeah, we have a family tradition for breakfast on the weekends that I
Nice.
cook. And by the way, I was going to say, for those who are not as familiar, Francesco plays under the name Frasco92 on Board Space, or Frasco on BGA. So you can always chat with him there, and he's very, like everybody in the community, very friendly, open, willing to connect and learn, and so.
That is one very nice thing about the Worldwide Hive community. Everybody is interested in helping one another. It's not cutthroat like you could imagine it would be. But it isn't. So it's a very nice community, and I enjoy playing in it a lot. And of course, John is one of the few people that I've actually met and played with in person. It's hard to believe it's been almost a year ago. It was,
I mean, exactly, yeah.
Pre-pandemic. He held an event in right there in Minneapolis, and I got to meet both John and Joe Schultz, current world champion and author of the book Canon of Hive Groundwork. So that was a very
And you met one of the new players at that event was Brian.
Oh, was that Brian?
Who plays
Irel Duke.
Irel Duke, which is to say in real life Duke, because he used to be a part of the Society for Creative Anachronism. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
I
It's
am.
basically like live kind of role playing, and he was the king a few times, but he's a Duke kind of in perpetuity. So that's that's how he gets that name.
So we're still waiting for the first round pairings, but that should be very interesting. So I did get to meet Brian there as well. So that would be very nice to see how he does in this tournament.
He's very excited. He's been really, really working hard on his game. I've been trying to help him and a few other local players kind of catch up, so that we can have, when we get done with this pandemic, have a proper meetup with people playing, because we did that before the pandemic for several months leading up to that little event. We probably had, I don't know, 6 or 7 local Hive events, and I probably taught a dozen people to play at those events. But you know what it really requires is people studying the game. So this pandemic has allowed me to spend some time on Zoom with a few folks that are sitting there trying to learn, and it's been it's been great to actually to kind of dig into the learning using your book and of course Joe's book, and getting people caught up. So
well, it's interesting because you've probably noticed that on my YouTube channel I've been doing this Hive Lexicon series, just a little brief little 1 minute videos using some of the terminology, and a lot of it, of course, has come from Joe's book. And so I've been studying his book a lot, and have been learning a lot from it. So, totally. and I'm hoping that sometime before the end of the year, I'll actually have a published copy of the Hive Lexicon.
Oh,
so
good
that's
idea.
One of the things I'm working on. And
Very cool.
just going through and looking at the different terms that Joe came up with and coined and described has actually helped my entire concept of playing Hive. So he's done it. He's done a lot by publishing that book. I can't wait to see his book on openings.
I know, yeah.
That will be very interesting.
And even, I mean, I don't know if you've noticed this in your competitive games, Randy. I know that you play regularly, but what I've noticed is the wealth of players in kind of my range, that sort of mid-tier range, call it 300 to 600 range, who are much, much better in the first 20 moves than they were a year ago. That book has changed.
I don't think there's any question.
And in particular, the way in which the patterns of those openings, I think both the book and also just the top 20 or 30 games that people paid attention to, both from your YouTube channel, Randy, but also just people studying, because I've seen a lot of those patterns playing out now. So it's really fun to see the learning grow.
It is nice to watch the improvement in people, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see if I can get, if he's published anything on the...
I will say, for those who are watching this, if you're thinking about joining the tournaments in the future, it's too late for this event, but if you want to join one of these in the future, I do recommend people try to play on board space either before or during this event, because I think there's some things about the reviewer in board space that are really helpful and well worth learning how to use. Even though it's a little clunky of a website, I think it's worth doing. So
there's no question about that. I always tell people, if you really want to study the game, reviewing games on board space is a big thing, because on board space review, you can not only review the game, you can go forwards or backwards. You can edit a game, do what-if scenarios, play around with it, and then reload the game and go back to and continue reviewing. So that's where I got most of my information for writing my book, and most of the study that I did to improve was on the board space review. So it's definitely a great place.
And an underrated element, which I only kind of in the last year probably started to really appreciate, is the AI for Hive on board space, the dumb bot, which is, if you're playing with a fast enough computer, it can be made a little bit better. But basically, it plays a random opening, and it can be a good practice of a kind of like a style of play. So if you're just playing it a bunch of times, you can't necessarily learn high-level strategy very well against it because it plays very consistently, but you can focus on, like control or placement, and in a way that in a game's formation that would not be a normal player's choice, because it plays the first few moves randomly. So I find that really actually was quite helpful when I was trying to learn how to, train my brain to pay attention to things. So.
Well, let's see.
So did he post? Yeah.
I haven't seen any pairings yet.
I mean, probably just getting it going. I know that.
So it's interesting that Francesco called it the Winter Hive Rapid, although we have a couple people playing that it's not winter. Of course, Quadlibet's from Chile, so he's in South America. And I just played this morning with, let's see, who was it I played with? I want to say Seymo 5, Seymo5. He's from Sydney, Australia.
Yeah, cool. Wow. Very early in the morning over there.
Yeah, he said it was 2:00 in the morning.
Wow.
So we're still waiting for the pairings here, so it'll be very interesting.
Well, that's my cue. I'm going to have to go start making breakfast, and I will be back when I'm finished.
Thanks a lot, John. Appreciate you coming in. Enjoy your breakfast.
I will. I might even just keep my headphone on so I can still hear how things are going. So if you're discussing things for the audience, I might still be able to follow along. So we'll see you soon.
Okay, thanks, John. Appreciate you coming in this morning. So that's John Sandel, plays under the name Apollo Q. He and I had a really, really good game in the recent BGA tournament. Ended up a draw. I did a video on that, so you may want to look that up. But always enjoyed playing with John. So here it is. We are waiting for the pairings in the first round. The players should be getting excited. So it's Saturday morning here on the live stream. Play Hive like a champion. Appreciate you all joining in. Got a tournament getting ready to get started. The first Winter Hive Rapid Tournament, which is leg 1 of the Rapid Hive Grand Prix for 2021. And we appreciate Francesco Salerno, plays under the name of Frasco or Frasco92, for setting up this tournament, series of tournaments over the course of the year. Likely about every other month we're going to be having these, and my goal is to live stream them all so you all can watch wherever in the world you are. We truly appreciate that. And it just dawned on me, I need to see if I can get my live streaming going here so that I can see. I'm still relatively new to this, guys, so bear with me. And of course, please put up with the commercials because the commercials are actually helping support this channel. So we do have a couple people like say Mo5, lowest rated, hell yeah, he says, in the Golden Garner. So welcome. I'll try to keep an eye on the chat, so if anybody wants to say anything in the chat, please let me know. So we're still waiting for the pairings. And of course, for those of you that are not familiar with it, the 2021 Hive Online World Championship will also be played at Board Space later on in the year. For the first time ever, it's officially an invitation-only event. The top 8 from last year have already received their invitations. 4 more invitations are going out from the recently completed turn-based Swiss system tournament at Board Game Arena. Then there are 2 more ways that you can earn invitations from Board Game Arena. One is the first quarter arena competition, which is currently going on. Top 4 players there that haven't already received invitations. And then, of course, the ELO ratings at Board Game Arena. Let me turn the sound off so you all don't have to listen to that. So let's see if I can see if they've got pairings up yet. They did have a still don't see pairings up yet, so hopefully they will be having those here very shortly. It looks like we have 1 or 2 no-shows, so we'll see what happens with that. So it looks like we're about ready to start once we get the pairings going. And I assume most of you are familiar with Hive, but Hive is a 2-player abstract strategy game. invented by John Yanni 21 years ago. And we've had three expansions. John describes it as chess without a board. So unlike chess, where you have a restricted 8x8 board that you play on and you start with all your pieces, with Hive you start with a blank slate, and as you add pieces, you actually create your own board. And you're creating a hive because the hexagonal pieces look like the honeycomb in a hive, in an actual beehive. So once we get pairings going, we'll pick a game and we'll watch the game and see what happens. The tournament today is using the rapid format, which is 5 minutes, adding 10 seconds for each turn. Each time you make a move, 10 seconds gets added to your overall time. If you go below, if you run out of time, then the tournament organizers request that you resign. And that's one thing nice about the Hive community. This is a very, very cordial community. Very rarely are there ever arguments over scenarios like time. And of course our lead player in the tournament this year, or this morning, is Quadlibet. That's Christian Galeas. He's from Chile, and he's a 3-time world champion. He and Joe Schultz, who plays under the name Judoka, the two of them have played in repeated finals in the World Championship. So they multiple winners on both of them. So congratulations to them. And we're looking forward to, we'll probably pick Quadlibet's first game to see how he does in round 1 of this tournament this morning. So we're looking forward to this tournament. Let's see if we have pairings yet. We still don't have pairings yet. So we should be starting any minute now. And of course, all these games are played with tournament rules, which means that it's the tournament opening rule. The tournament opening rule states that you cannot start with your queen. If you go back to the 2008 Hive Online World Championship at BoardSpace, you'll see that there were a lot of draws, 27 if my memory serves me correctly, in the finals, because when your queens open early and they're side by side, creates a great opportunity for draws. So the tournament opening rule has been instigated at BoardSpace and in most of the tournaments played since then. And of course, this tournament Hive includes all 3 expansions: the Ladybug, the Mosquito, and of course the Pillbug. The Pillbug was a game changer for Hive because it was a first really, really good defensive bug. When the Mosquito and the Ladybug were first introduced, it created an attack situation where White, having the first move, seemed to have an advantage. And that is the case when you play with Ladybug and Mosquito. Without the Pillbug, White has a distinct advantage having the first move. And if you go back to the tournament where I won the championship in 2011, in that game, in that match, in that tournament, the Ladybug was used in every game, and generally speaking, the first player that won with black would win the match, or quite often the first player that drew with black would win the match, because it was so difficult to win or draw with the Ladybug and the Mosquito. So the top players were very happy in 2013 when John introduced the third and probably final expansion, the Pillbug. So we're still waiting for the pairings. I've got the official spreadsheet open here on my screen to the right, so if you see me looking over that way, I also have the Discord server open. watching to see what's going on there. So we're still looking for the pairings. And of course, for those of you not completely familiar, although if you're watching this video, watching this YouTube channel, you are probably familiar with the pill bug. The pill bug is a game changer for the game of Hive. It really, really made it stand out as a two-player strategy game. It adds so much complexity to the game and so much depth to the game, particularly when you're playing with a mosquito. The mosquito has no ability on its own. It just absorbs the ability of the bugs that it touch. So when you get the pill bug and the mosquito, and you get both players with pill bugs and mosquitoes, and the interaction can be very, very complex, it adds a lot to the game. And so that's why virtually all of the top level tournaments are now played with all three expansions. The lobby is filling up. Waiting for the tournament to start, so it should be starting here very shortly. So thanks to all of you who are watching. And I'll try to keep an eye on the chat if you want to say anything. Hi, Mohammed. I'm doing very well. How are you? Thanks for joining us this morning. So let me send a little note to him. So Francesco said we're going to start in 2 minutes, but that's quite a while ago, so we're still waiting to start. There were 24 players on the list. You can see the list there on the screen. Well, thanks, Mohammed. I appreciate you saying that, but no, I'm not anywhere near the king of chess for Hive. Of course, my goal may be to become the Agadmator of Hive. If you're not familiar, if you're follow the chess world at all, Agadmator, Antonio Radic is a YouTuber and has just passed 1 million subscribers on his channel. Congratulations, Antonio. Although I'm a retired chessaholic, I don't play chess anymore at all. Replaced it with Hive. I'm going to go over here into the lobby and ask the question, what's going on? Hi guys, what is going on? See if anybody answers me over there. So right now I feel like a juggler. I've got my OBS, which is my open broadcast software, going. I've got my Discord channel open. I've got my YouTube channel open so I can see if you all are making comments. Danielle Linzel says, hi, Randy from the Netherlands. And he says, Hive is much more fun than chess. So thanks, Daniel, for joining us this morning. And we should have some very, very good games. Hopefully we'll get started here very shortly. Last minute no-shows, and Frasco needed to redo the list, is what Irel Duke said. Hot Rail said, waiting for pairings, Randy. So let me go back to the Discord server, and we've got round one set up. So we will save the image. Oh, can't do it. So we've got the first round set up. So we're going to be picking a game. Quadlibet is playing Hot Rail. So I think that's the one we're going to be picking here very shortly. As the game rooms begin. So let's see if we can. So Quadlibet, 3 times world champion, is opening with a ladybug. Let's see if we can enlarge this a little bit. So they're out to a rapid start. Both of them have their pill bugs out. If you notice that many of the top players play their pill bug in line with the queen. And Hot Rails did what Joe Schultz in his book, The Canon of Hive Groundwork. He did a sacrifice technique where he sacrificed one ant in order to get a second ant in. And then when Quadlibet played his second ant, Troy, Hot Rails, it looks like he's going to pin it, and he did. And here comes the mosquito. Of course, that's an exceptional place to place a mosquito because right there in that spot, it has both ant power and pillbug power. So let's see what Quadlibet does. He pins the ant. So welcome, Mohammed from Kuwait. Glad to have you with us this morning. And then Hot Rails brings in his mosquito. And of course, one of the big advantages of this white mosquito move by Quadlibet is that the white mosquito continues having ant power. So not only is it pinning the black ant, but as soon as a black beetle comes in, the white mosquito can swoop in, pin the black beetle, and possibly even climb up and cover it. So that's an important concept. And Hot Rails brings in the first spider. And then Quadlibet pins the mosquito. Now it's interesting here because in this situation, the black mosquito has pillbug power. So we will see if Quadlibet anchors that ant in place by self-pinning the ant. If he doesn't, then and that's what he did. He anchored the ant in place with the beetle, so the beetle can climb up, because that stops the black mosquito from warping away the white ant. And here comes the black attacking beetle. And Quadlibet climbs up with the white beetle. Quadlibet is one of the best in doing tempo counting. So we'll see what happens here. So with both players having bugs atop the hive, it will become a very interesting scenario. So Hot Rails plays his second beetle in a defensive position. Let's see if Quadlibet does the same. Nope, he's putting in the white spider, which will probably attack. And that's one of the exciting things about playing at this time frame. You don't have a tremendous amount of time. And note here also how Quadlibet playing white has gotten the position where the black pillbug is starting to get surrounded, so that if white attacks into this spot here, the only place the black queen can be warped is out here, which is already surrounded by 5 bugs. And in comes an ambiguous spider. Is it going to attack, or is it going to do a pin replacement? The pin replacement, if it swings around here, can keep the white ant pinned while relieving the black ant for other duty, or it can attack moving over into this spot. And Quadlibet brings in, or possibly is going to bring in, his second beetle. And he does. And I think Christian is on the verge of winning. So Quadlibet is going to probably attack with the beetle, threatening to win. And if the black queen, if he doesn't warp the queen away, then the white beetle takes the kill shot here. If he does warp the queen away, then this spot is already surrounded by 5. The white ant will swing around here and win the game. So our 3-times world champion Quadlibet starts out with a victory. Congratulations, Christian. Places a block so the ant can't come in, but of course the beetle is on top of the mosquito and it takes the kill shot. So congratulations, Christian, on winning his first round game. So let's go take a quick look at So let's see who Happy Kiwi is playing. Oh, here we go. Let's take a look at Frasco 92 and Jarrell. So let's look at timing. Time looks pretty good on both of them. So let's take a quick look at how the scenario is. The white queen has the defending white pill bug. The black queen has the defending black pill bug. Although the white beetle can cover the pill bug. So Frasco attacks with the spider and creates a situation where, okay, he climbs up with the beetle. A term coined by Joe Schultz in his book, The Canon of Hive Groundwork, is qualifying for the win. And you qualify for the win when you negate the opponent's pill bug. So in this case, white has qualified for the win by covering the pill bug so that the pill bug is not available to rescue the black queen. And now white can begin attacking. Although first he pins the black ant. So one of the things to look for in a game like this to see who might be winning or who might be losing is to look at the ant game. The ant game is a term used to describe controlling the outside of the hive by using ants. So when you can see in this situation, Frasco has 2 ants free and a mosquito, which is penning another ant, which has ant power and still has an ant in reserve. So Frasco has 4, equivalent of 4 ants. Black, however, all 3 black ants are pinned, even though 2 of them are in attacking position, and the black mosquito, which is probably underneath there, yep, the black mosquito is also neutralized. So my prediction is that white is going to win this. So let's see if black can continue to defend or not. With the black mosquito covered, this black beetle pinned, and this black beetle playing defensive duty, there's no real way for black to qualify for the win. So Frasco will probably win this one. But I am wondering, interesting, Frasco was timed out, so I wonder if he lost his connection. So we're going to close this window and go look for another one to watch. Let's see, Stepanzo. Take a look at Stepan Opalev, who plays under the name Stepanzo, one of the best players in the world. So here at Board Space, as you can see what I'm doing, you can adjust the size of the pieces and the board. So Stepanzo is playing white. And let's see, he's in the defensive position right now, but he has excellent defending pill bug. And it does not look like there's any chance whatsoever of negating the white pill bug. Anytime you see a long string of bugs like this where the hive is all strung out, there's a good possibility that it's going to end up in a draw. Looking at time, they're both sitting okay on time. 2.5 minutes left for each. And Stepanzo brings his mosquito over. So Stepan, I think, is still considering playing defense, defending first, and then we'll worry about attacking here shortly. Trying to see, that looks like the... That must be a black grasshopper underneath there. I can't really tell for certain. Yep, looking at this game, I'm going to predict that Stepanzo is going to come up with a method of winning. So I am going to, here at board space, if you go up to options, I am going to uncheck track mice so we're not distracted by the mice moving. And the white beetle is moving forward. And of course now, even if the black beetle covers the white queen, so the white pillbug cannot warp away the white queen, he still has an extremely good chance of winning. That was probably black's best move, because as long as the black pillbug or the black queen are not covered, Stepanzo has not yet qualified for the win. But the white mosquito can come right in. Oh, he's going to there. That's interesting. So one of the maxims in Hive is rings are bad, unless they are good. So Stepanzo makes a ring with his grasshopper, which does a couple different things. One is he can use it to free this ant, or he can use it to rescue the queen. He used it to free the ant. And Stepanzo's playing a control game here. Wild W has to be very careful. He's running out of mobile bugs. The pillbug moves over, will allow the white queen to escape to the outer reaches of the hive and make her virtually invincible. When comparing chess to Hive, chess opens with all of the pieces on the board, and as the game progresses, as you get toward what's referred to in the chess as an endgame, an endgame is typically the kings on both sides with very few pieces. Sometimes just a pawn and a king against a king, or a rook and two pawns against a rook and a pawn, but the endgames have fewer pieces in them as pieces get removed. In Hive, however, because pieces never get removed, the endgame typically occurs when all of the pieces have been played. So we're in an endgame situation here. And this is one of the things that really differentiates a top player from a medium ranked player, is how the top players can come up with a plan in the endgame to come up with a victory. So let's see how Stepanzo finishes off this endgame scenario. Because in order to win, he's got to qualify for the win by covering the queen or the pill bug, and he's got four kill spots that have to be filled. So let's see how Stepanzo comes up with this. So black is doomed to just moving the spider back and forth. Now the white mosquito will climb up, qualifying for the win. And of course the two white beetles are well placed to attack. So I'm predicting that the white mosquito will move over and cover the pill bug. Nope, he's getting his. So time is not a situation for Stepanzo. He's got 2.5 minutes. Det Wild W only has a minute. But Det Wild W only has the one bug that can move. And we have a bug zwang situation here. Once white pinned the spider, the grasshopper is forced to move. Now we have a shutout situation. Where all Det Wild W can do now is pass. And I'm predicting that. Oh, nope, he's not going to need to cover the pill bug. Next turn the ant attacks and the mosquito drops down. So Stepanzo did an excellent job here of showing how to process an endgame situation. Much of it came down to the fact that Stepanzo's ants were free, and he was able to use his mosquito first to pin some opposing bugs, and then once the mosquito got free, could move in and do an ant beetle conversion, convert to a beetle, and climb up and qualify for the win. Got 17 people watching. I appreciate all of you for joining in today. So Det Wild went ahead and resigned. Congratulations, Stepan. So let's check in with the Discord server. We're going to shrink that. Oops. Look for results and submissions. So Claudio beat Simu, Quadlibet beat Hot Rails, Sturrock beat Irel Duke, Square 623 beat Stretchy, Hawk 81 beat Sofal Remy, Max Shark beat Rogue, Frasco beat Charel, Happy Kiwi beat XT of 100, Stepanzo beat Detwile. Oops. Sorry about that. So let's see if there's any more games continuing to play. There is one game still going on. Nope, just ended. Dricke 1. We're going to enlarge this and take a quick look at it. This really highlights how when you get the pillbug together, pillbug and mosquito together, you can get these masses of bugs right here. And as you can see, white finally took advantage of it and won this one. That'll be an interesting one to go back and review. So round 1 is over, and some of the top players did fairly well. So we'll see. So we'll be watching for the second round matchups here very shortly. One of the nice things about playing on board space, we're going to go down here. I usually go to the bottom. Interesting, here's the map of players. You can see there's players from all over the world. A couple of these I recognize. This one right here down in Brazil is Luis Rubiero. Down here in Chile is Quadlibet. That's Christian Galeas. Here's my spot right here in Florida. You see a mass of European players playing today as well. But the nice thing about board space, you can take a room. We're going to change this to a review games room. Pick Hive. And you can actually, any one of those games we just saw, you can pick one and you can actually go through and review it. This is the really nice thing with the buttons down here. If you've been watching my videos, you can see this is where I get my videos in the game review. You can set it to automatically, and then you can actually just sit here and watch and see how it plays out. The game review at Board Space is excellent. But it looks like round 2 has been, the pairings have been made, so let's get back over and see who we're going to watch this time. So here are the round 2 pairings. Hawk 81 against Quadlibet, Happy Kiwi against Sturrock, Dricke against Stepanzo, Max Shark against Claudio Mi, Urea against Frasco 92 are the one pointers playing each other. So let's go and look at Quadlibet again. Quadlibet and Hawk 81. That's the game we'll pick. Let's see. So now we get to see the world champion playing black. So Quadlibet is playing black. And Hawk 81 looks like he might be opening with a grasshopper. Many beginning players, realizing that the spider is the weakest piece, open with a spider to get it out of the way. That, however, is not a good thing. If you notice, grasshoppers and ladybugs are the two most common bugs used as opening one. Sorry about that, my phone rang. My job is dispatcher for a locksmith company, and so since the pandemic has struck, I'm working from home using my cell phone, and my cell phone rings all the time with job-related phone calls, but on Saturday morning I don't have to answer them. So here we go. Let's see what's going on here. Neither player has introduced the pill bug yet. Hawk 81 is bringing in another ant. And one of the considerations, one of the ways you can qualify for the win is to limit spawn points around your opposing queen where the opposing queen has no place that can, where the pill bug can be spawned. And so not wanting to keep the pill bug from getting spawned, Quadlibet went ahead and brought in his pill bug. And as you can notice, white is ahead in the ant game right now. He's got 2 ants and the possibility of the mosquito being free, even though he does have an ant pinned against the queen. And this is an important concept. We'll look at this section of the board right here with the white queen, the defending grasshopper, and the white ant. Many times you'll see new players pin the second piece in line this way. But notice Quadlibet pinned an elbow pin here. This is called a true pin because notice the ant is pinned up against the white queen in line. Much more difficult for the ant to be freed from there. Quadlibet also created what's called a beetle factory. This pocket here, there's no way that Hawk 81 could stop the beetle from spawning in that spot. So very soon we'll see that black beetle climbing up, headed toward the white queen.
By the way, I don't know if you can see me, Randy, but I am back. So.
Oh, John is back. Very good.
Yeah,
so how was breakfast?
Oh, it was delicious as always. I make the same breakfast on Saturday and Sunday. Well, 2 different things, but I make it every weekend since the pandemic started, basically. So everyone's real happy with it at this point. Yes. But I was listening while I was cooking. Troy Hot Rails got to play Quadlibet in that first round. I'm sure he was a little bummed about that because I know he tends to bemoan the fact that he has to play as against the top players in these rising tournaments a lot. But good learning for him, it sounded like.
So, welcome back, John. So, we're in
Thanks.
round two. We're watching here Quadlibet and Hawk 81. This has been a very instructional game here because we had a beetle factory that Quadlibet used to get a beetle up. We had a true pin placed. We can define a true pin. And we saw White considering bringing in a defending beetle, but instead brought in the pill bug. So what do you think? Do you think that Quadlibet is going to go ahead and advance with the beetle here?
It sure seems likely, but there comes. I mean, this is one of those moments that you know, you're filling a kill spot with a defender in the pillbug's case, and the placement of that pillbug in line makes it harder for direct drops, of course, but you also are essentially inviting that beetle to then just immediately cover that pillbug. So by the way, I need to get the most recent the game up so that, because I was looking at your YouTube footage and I think it's behind. So let me bring that up quickly. And what room are they in?
They are in room 10.
10, I see. Okay. Bring that up here so I can see it more directly.
So Hawk 81 brought in a defending beetle. Quadlibet moved forward, covering the white queen, which of course qualifies for the win. And what Quadlibet did was he left the black beetle back so he could bring the second black beetle in. So interesting.
I find that, I mean, I don't know if you remember this, but that was one of the key moves in our game in the World Qualifier, was that creating a spawn point right there,
right,
with the start bug and the beetle is incredibly important to sort of navigate those sorts of things.
And John used the term, most of you are probably familiar with it, but just in case you're not, he used the term direct drop. And of course the rules of Hive say that you can only spawn a new bug in a spot where it only touches bugs of your color. And when a beetle climbs up, it changes the color of that spot. So where this black beetle is on top of the white grasshopper below it, this black beetle makes the spots around it available for black bugs to spawn. Of course, you cannot spawn right here because of the white ant, but right now, this spot right here to the left of this beetle is a direct drop spot, meaning that black can spawn a bug right there in a kill spot, right next to the white queen.
I just as a side note, I was wondering if, that's the most obvious defense, is to just go for the recover and take away the direct drop spot with the other beetle and sacrifice. It is interesting. One of the things with this, partial beetle factory that Hawk made, that's interesting. Yeah, did he not? That sort of ends it, I think.
I wasn't paying attention to time. Nope, Hawk had over a minute to go.
Yeah, that wasn't the issue. Hawk's a very good player, I will say. Obviously playing one of the best in the world, if not, the ranking champion. Other than this last World Championship, Quad's certainly really, really good. I haven't been impressed with Hawk's improvement, and also, I mean, he and I played each other in the first round of the qualifier, and I admittedly made a stupid mistake, but he definitely played deliberately and took advantage and was very cautious, and he is not a reckless attacker. So I have to believe that, he's at least thinking through what's going on here. Although he's in a bad way now.
Yeah, the pin replacement trying to free up a white ant is going to come too late.
It's too slow. Yeah. He's not going to. I was surprised, when you mentioned the beetle factory. By the way, I'd be curious to know if Joe would classify it as a beetle factory if there isn't a mosquito or beetle in the outer circle. That was one of the things I noticed about the example of that. But in any case, it's certainly a big pocket for the beetle to start spawning near the queen. The thing that I had expected, and I don't know if he looked at it or considered it, but Hawk could have sacrificed a defender, an ant, to prevent that spot, right? He could have thrown an ant in that spot for the sake of preventing the factory.
Right.
And I half expected him to do that for just that reason, that, he's going to have to play defense once that, pocket becomes possible. So, what a good game. By the way, is this round 2 or 3 are we on here?
This is round 2.
Okay. So
3 times world champion Quadlibet wins his second one. Let's go pick another game to watch. Let's watch your friend Brian.
Yeah, I think he would like that. Which room is he in?
Room 1.
Oh, yeah. Great. Looks like he's doing well. Got a chance for a win here. Black to move.
Let's take a look. Let's look at time. Brian is the iReal Duke, has 4.5 minutes. Roger has 6. So with the queens adjacent like this, there's a good possibility they could end in a draw. Oh, nope, he just won.
Yeah, he had the win there for those last 2 moves. Nice job, Brian. Good timing, but very cool. The game I was going to suggest we check out is Happy and Shaturik is going in room 5. That would be 2 high-quality opponents. And Happy's almost out of time, so as white. He's down to 26 seconds. Yeah. Shaturik is one of the players that I sparred with a lot when I first learned the game 2 years ago. He and I played, consistently for about 6 months. And he's a creative player. I find him to be really...
So does he have a method to get that...
Right.
Get that final kill, take that final kill shot.
Yeah, it might have been a mistake placing the hopper there because he needed to save it for later. Potentially.
And that's one of the things about Hive. If you're defending and you can withstand the attack, quite often you can then turn it around and end up winning.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and that's what's going to happen here.
Agreed. Yeah, this is over. With barely any time left. So, yeah. Good game, Happy.
Well, that's the thing about these rapid games. They are quick. Mm-hmm. And can be very exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take
Drike and Stepanzo in room 6, maybe 7. Where was that room? Maybe they just finished, actually. Let's see. 9. Sorry. Room 9.
Okay, let's see where the queens are. The queens are both covered.
Both able to go for direct drops here. Oh, sorry, no, not the white can't, but the black has direct dropped opportunities.
No, white has a direct drop spot right there.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. It just frees it. It would free
the mosquito.
Mosquito. Yeah. Ooh, that's exciting. Look at that. I love that. White can play a defender in an attacking spot potentially. That's really fun. And that kind of thing happens. And Stepanzo is almost out of time. Side note. So what I've noticed here now in these last 2 boards, Randy, is that these good players, Stepanzo, Happy Kiwi, very, 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 very skilled players, are playing rapid, using as much time as they need to, and then when they get down to these under 30 seconds, it's like, okay, I'm gonna think of my move and just make it immediately, just so that I gain an extra 10 seconds back.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting. And that's an interesting move, right? So black or white chose to free the black spider by placing the ant there.
Well, but what that does is now with the white spider attacking there.
Maybe. Well, no, actually, yeah. I think that might have been a little hasty to put the spider in there right then.
Well, the white beetle can't move because that's the pill bug underneath there.
Mm-hmm. So there's a defensive play there to keep the ant pinned in there.
Oh, but he's got to be careful because if he puts the ant there, then he has nowhere for the spider to go.
Mm-hmm. So
because if the white beetle climbs up, then the black pill bug can warp the spider away. So taking the kill shot into this last kill space over here is going to be difficult. White's going to have a difficult time with that.
I think the spider move was hasty because he could have climbed the beetle up and direct drop. Now that would have thrown the ant out. Probably.
No, he couldn't direct drop because that would uncover the pill bug.
Right. What I'm saying is that direct drop might have been useful even with the ant getting removed, right? So this is what he's thinking about there is now they're both out of time. So now he's in trouble because now he's released the wrong. Fast. So Stepanzo should have a win at this point, right? There's no easy way for white to free.
No, I don't think white can get a bug into that last spot.
No. He could defend or try to defend with the pill bug, but because there's a beetle on top of the queen, there's just nothing to be done really.
This is a scenario where you have to be very careful and make sure that you fill the spots in the right order, which I don't think he's going to have an issue here.
Alonso is very experienced at the end game. He knows what to do.
So congratulations, Stepanzo.
Yeah.
So let's. Are there any more still playing?
Max and Claudio are in room 12. Are they still? Looks like they might still be going. Oh, nope, it's over. Max won.
So let's pull up the. Bring over the Discord room. Results and submissions. Detwild W1, Quadlabet 1, Square 623 beat XT of 100.
Oh, that's kind of an upset, I think.
I think so too. Happy Kiwi beat Sturek, Jarl beat Stretchy, Sofa Remy beat Hot Rails, and Stepanzo won.
All right, here we go. So La Fame Remy is has beaten Hot Rails.
Are there any games still going?
I don't see any that I didn't actually double check, but I didn't see any. Actually, there probably is because a couple of those newer players at the bottom may still be playing.
Looks like Frasco's still playing.
Oh, there you go. Well, let's look at that one.
But not for a minute. Oh, I don't know. Does he have a...
Oh, yeah. One, two, three, four, five, or four. Can you get there in four? Yeah. Oh, exciting. Wants to place it next to the ant because then the mosquito next to the ant, because then he has ant power and he can recover the first beetle. Yeah. And make a gate, but that won't matter.
So here's what you do. So you take the black ant, you pin the white mosquito.
Mm-hmm.
How are they doing on
Walk
time?
It over. I mean, Aria's about to be out of time, so.
Oh, interesting.
Jump right in.
Yeah,
Nice.
by blocking in that ant, it allowed that grasshopper to do a grasshopper. I mean, the mosquito to do a grasshopper conversion, and the grasshopper and it jumps in.
Yeah, that's a creative win solution there. I like that, Fresco. Well done. Good game.
So I'm going to slide this over here, and I am going to step away from the camera for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay. I assume the audience can still hear me while you step away. Welcome for those who are watching. I noticed Mohammed in Kuwait near Dubai, which I actually have been to Dubai, and Daniel, I don't know how you pronounce that, from the Netherlands, where I have also been, though I have not played Hive in either place. So since I haven't been there in the last 2 years, and I only learned the game about 2 years ago. So, welcome. Excited to be here with all of you watching this event. For those who are not familiar and are just joining us or catching up, this is a rapid Hive event played at boardspace.net, a site for players to play in these live games, with proper time controls and able to be done in a tournament setting. The tournament is being run by Frasco. Thanks so much to him for running this event. And I know that he's just about to post this third round pairings. The standings after 2 rounds have, let's see, let me get the standings here. The standings for second round is not up yet. But we do have 21 players, which is pretty awesome. It's a good turnout for this event. And of course, if you're interested, this event is the first in a year-long Grand Prix series of Rapid Hive tournaments. The next one will be in a couple of months, and everyone's welcome to join. We are a friendly, welcoming community and like to have new players join whenever they want to learn and play the game. So feel free to join in and play with us in the future. I see Randy's back.
I am back. So of course, the 2 best places to play online are Board Game Arena and Board Space. The Board Game Arena,
for different reasons.
But for different reasons. Board Game Arena has more people on it, so you can generally get a game going there. I prefer to play at Board Space. I almost always check in at Board Space. If I'm looking for a Hive game, I always check in at Board Space first, see if there's anybody there. If I know someone over at Board Game Arena and I know that they play at Board Space, I quite often will invite them to go over to Board Space to play, because of the game review feature at Board Space. That's the number one thing about Board Space that I like.
I would say for playing live games, Board Space is far superior, and the addition of having a sparring partner when you don't have somebody to play against,
right,
adds a little bit of value as well.
There is Dumbbot and Smartbot at Board Space as well.
Right, and on my iPhone I can run the Dumbbot pretty effectively. Even just on my phone, I can play if I was bored, I could play a game. When I was learning the game 2 years ago, I very much played a couple hundred games on my phone through the Dumbbot. The other thing, the one drawback, at least currently, with the Board Space community in Hive is that it doesn't have a turn-based function, which a lot of players, myself included, tend to play more turn-based games, so that the games take a lot longer to play, but it also gives me time to sort of reflect and pay attention and try to learn that way. So, that's where BGA does sort of shine, because you can have as many turn-based games as you want theoretically running at any one time. So
what I don't like about turn-based games is typically I don't take the time necessary. What I'll do is I will go on, look at it, make a quick move, and go away, and my opponent will have hours and hours to study, and then I'll come back and go real quick and make another move. That's kind of my personality as well.
Yeah, I definitely had to retrain my brain when I was trying to improve in turn-based scenarios not to do that, because I was definitely making that mistake or doing that all the time. And I eventually had to say, okay, if I'm going to play turn-based, I'm going to have to essentially not play, especially, and this is for anybody that's learning the game, one of the big hurdles is ant play, right? How and when to pin ants, where to pin with the ants you're using to pin. Those decisions become really key against a player that's at or above your level. and I was just willy-nilly careless. Well, pin that ant, and would, often make the wrong choice because I was just doing it so fast it didn't seem to matter, and then get exposed. So very much a key.
And
key
it's
element
not
to
just
taking it.
not just pinning ants. You could elect to pin the right ant at the wrong spot.
Exactly right. Yeah. So
Because
that's a key.
pin placement is such a critical thing to learn. So round 3 has been posted. We have, let's see, the top 3 rounds are both players with 2 points each: Quadlibet and Max Shark, Frasco and Happy Kiwi, Stepanzo and Square 623.
Do you know this Square 623? That's a player I've never.
I don't.
Not
Let's go
familiar
watch
with.
him play Stepanzo.
Yeah, agreed.
In room 4. In room 5. So he looks like he drew white. No, Stepanzo drew white, so. Where did Stepanzo go?
I've noticed Troy Hot Rails, who's new to beat board space and is just, really just learning Hive at the higher level in the last couple of months, I think, saying, "I think I hate Rapid Hive. We're finding out my ELO rating is a sham bolstered by timeouts and beginner opponents." Oh, man. Oh, well. I mean, as I said at the very beginning, I do think it's a very different game, and I think you got to be careful about judging yourself too harshly in this, especially when playing really good players. I mean, all the time in the world might make it tough for you to beat a Quadlibet, even if he only had 5 minutes. He's just got so much more experience. So.
Well, talking about Quadlibet, let's go see his, since Stepanzo's game hasn't started yet.
Sure. And Max is another one of those, plays lots of Hive at BGA. He is on there. He might have 20 games going at any one time. He is very committed to the game.
Oh, so it looks like he opened with a pill bug. That's interesting.
Yeah. He favors that, actually. He I think he's very experienced with it. It's a good counterattacking play.
So does Max have a guaranteed beetle getting up on the Hive here? Because if he doesn't,
if it's pinned, if Quad pins the beetle, Max could play the second beetle off of the first, which would mean.
Well, it depends. If Quad pins it with the ant, he could then. Let's see. He could warp the pill bug in. Oh, but then Quadlibet could then pin the mosquito.
Right. It's an interesting spot, though. I mean, this is why I think Max's opening with the pill bug as black against Quad is not a bad idea, even though it's probably slightly weaker. In a rapid tournament, it's going to create these situations that are harder for Quad to process. You notice he took almost a minute for that move.
Right. And see, this is one of the differences between what I found between my play and the play of Quadlibet and Judoka, the two top players in the world. I always try very hard to keep my opponent from getting a beetle up on the Hive.
Mm-hmm.
And both Quadlibet and Judoka let it happen.
Yeah.
Because
I think
they're so much better at doing a complete in-depth analysis.
Right. So that's really fascinating too, what just happened there, right? So Quad's plan with placing that hopper was essentially to create a proximity pill bug. He knew he was going to move the queen. So that's a fascinating play.
So he's just running away with this queen. Interesting.
Yeah. And now he's freed up. That was a pin replacement with this queen to the mosquito. Now the question will be, can Quad have enough defenders to hold off?
Well, the other interesting thing is if he's still got his mosquito free, if he could get his mosquito into this spot right here, the mosquito could...
I can't actually see because I'm not looking at the YouTube. Where do you, when you say right here, you mean on the other side of the...
Right, if he could get the white mosquito in here between the queen and the ladybug,
it could become a pill bug effectively.
It could become a pill bug.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
That I find that placement of a hopper has become fairly standard when you have a pill bug as a leading bug. You essentially need to use a bug to
but what I'm looking at is that by filling that spot with the grasshopper, it stops the mosquito from getting into there.
Mosquito getting there, yeah. So exactly. So I in other words, I was seeing it for the defensive capabilities, but he was thinking of it as an offensive play.
Right.
And now it's a little tricky for white to remove that mosquito because it will allow the ant to start causing some trouble. This will be really interesting to see how this plays out, though, honestly. I think I don't think this is a guaranteed win for Quad by any means.
Or for Max. I mean,
right. Yeah. Neither has won the game. Yeah. I just opened up the Stepanzo and Square game, and I suspect that will be over fairly quickly. We'll see, but.
So are we headed to a Stepanzo quadlibet? So the white spider comes in getting ready to do a pen replacement. He's got 2 white ants free to pin almost anything that black places.
And yeah. So at this point, black's trouble is spawn points.
Right.
He's only got 1 effective spawn point, which is next to that mosquito, and doesn't attack anything. So he's going to be running out of places to play, other than on his own queen, which again isn't necessarily all that effective right now.
And now the only spawn points he has is on his own queen.
I'd say this is another good lesson for the people who are learning the game, is that like the difference between a casual Hive player and a real one is that they are very much paying attention to the spawn point element of the game in the mid game of the Hive, right? So once the majority of what we'll call the main pieces, the ants, the mosquitoes, and the beetles are in play, it becomes this big question of like, okay, can I control where those not as effective lesser pieces can come in the game, because that will make it harder for them to actually attack.
Well, in his judoka,
Another.
Joe
Oh, sorry,
Schultz
go ahead.
uses the term anti-spawn defense.
Right. Right. The other thing that I notice about this particular hive formation with quads running his queen away is that he's essentially created this ring based on how things formed. There's a way that that ring could come into play later,
Right.
especially as Max is trying to continue his attack. Yeah. That's interesting.
It does make it more difficult for white to cover the pill bug, because for the white beetle to get to the pill bug, it's going to have to go by that black beetle.
Mm-hmm. And now white has a chance to recover that last free black climber. In this case, a beetle. So one of the things I learned from Max and Shaturik when I was playing them a lot early on is this black pillbug lead essentially is effective because it allows for a quick counterattack, and essentially you've seen that happen and play out when Max attacked with that mosquito against the white queen, which is again a semi unusual attacking play early in the game like that. White recognized, no surprise, Quadlibet world champion, recognized he had to basically play defense and has done effectively nothing but play defense since then. But again, if Max can't win quickly, as it's clearly becoming tough for him to do, he will run out of pieces. So that's a nice little play by Max, though. I like that.
Yeah, the mosquito's moving over to become an ant.
And it's also worth noticing that now Max's, Quadlibet is reserving that white ant that's been replaced by the spider for the beetle, right? So when Max tries to bring that beetle in, it's going to be pinned immediately.
Now his mosquito has ant power, so it can the mosquito can
it could climb over the beetle.
Can do the beetle.
Yeah. Yeah, Max is in trouble because he really can't bring that beetle in effectively, and there is another beetle to cover the one that's already up. So it's going to be tricky for Max to get to an attack with either of those last two spots. I assume that spider is threatening to be thrown in by the pillbug, then free the hopper. But
no.
Oh, he's creating a pocket for the beetle to get up.
No, I was thinking that the spider. Well, this is a perfect example of an ambiguous spider. I was thinking the spider was going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
I see.
Get
so
to this
take
kill
2 moves
spot
to get to the kill spot. Yeah, I see. Ooh, nice. What's under the stack there?
I was just thinking the same thing, a grasshopper.
Hopper, yeah. I see Claudio and Brian in Real Life Duke are watching this game with us as well. So that's sort of fun to when these top level games when there's a crowd of people as there was in this fall in the World Championships in those games with judoka and quadlibet, there was 15, 20 people watching. It was pretty cool.
So let's look at time. 2.5 minutes apiece. Is that?
Yep.
If the black beetle moves forward, if
Mm-hmm.
quadlibet allows the black beetle to attack, is there any danger?
Now he's got a potential. He's got two. Well, he has one. Yeah, actually, both the mosquito and the ant can still pin, and he's about to have a third pinning piece. So he now has 3 pinning defenders, and there's only 2 pieces left for Max. So I would assume that Max is effectively done now.
Oh, interesting. Is there a way to do a fill in this spot here and release the grasshopper?
So that it can jump over. The tricky thing here is I don't see any way for Max to get that that last beetle in the game without it being immediately pinned. At least I don't see a spot for that. I mean, he can drop the pill bug one spot lower next to the spider and get it in there, but it will be defended by the beetle that's already up covering the whatever that is down, the ant. Yeah. So this is probably going to be an ant moves to the next to that white spider just to stop the direct drop, or not direct drop, but the pocket.
What happens if the mosquito goes to here?
Sorry, I can't see because I'm not looking at the YouTube channel.
What happens if the mosquito? What happens if the mosquito goes lower left of the black pill bug, threatening to get beetle power?
Yeah, that's also a good spot. Probably don't want to live there too long.
He still has the white ant.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what he decided. Nice job.
Always makes me feel good when I think of the same move that they do when the top players.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
So he's running out. Max is running out of options.
Yeah. It's a really, I mean, I think Max has played well here. I can't, I think he.
Oh, interesting. I didn't foresee that.
Mm-hmm.
But once he gets the.
Yeah. Yeah. So, like if I'm in Mac's shoes, I think he's played this as well as he could have. It's a defensive counterattacking strategy as black that he's very familiar with. And I know that Quad is probably not as familiar to playing against. And he forced Quad onto the defense right away, which, is probably not what Quad wants to do as white. So I think that was a smart play.
And that's one of the things that impresses me about Quadlibet's play. I would never have thought about running my queen away from my pill bug.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he was able to defend.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely
Congratulations,
had a
Christian.
plan for it. So
Yep.
yeah, that was great. What an expert play. I mean, not just expert play, world champion play.
Right.
Uh, so the game with Stepanzo and
Square 623. Stepanzo
is
won.
over. Yeah, Stepanzo won that one.
I think they all look like they're over. So let's pull up the... let's see, the Discord server. Round 3. So who won between Frasco and Happy Kiwi?
I haven't seen that posted yet, so that one may still be going?
Round 3. Let's take a look.
Yeah, room 19.
Oh, all the way down there.
And still going.
Oh, it says reviewing, so it must have just ended.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Agreed. We just busted in on there looking through the reviewing. It doesn't look like they posted it in the results yet, but...
Well, what we can do now is go down here and do a review.
I can see just to...
Game won by Happy Kiwi, it said, but why?
Okay.
Frasco resigned. I guess did he have a
Connection issue
and had to resign on time? I don't know.
It looks like there's one other game going, so Samo and Detweiler are playing still, with Detweiler attacking and about to win, it would seem. And I think Detweiler just locked him up. Yep. So it's actually now in... This is the one thing about board space I wish they would change, is that when you get frozen or locked out, I can't remember what your term for that is, by the way. Speaking of the lexicon.
Oh, when you get shut out?
Shut out, yeah, that's the right term. And in board space, it doesn't automatically move you over. You have to click done. You're not trying to move, so...
And the problem with that is, in a timed game, if I'm passing, I can just click real quick, and it makes you have to go real quick.
Right. And
so
and
where
in
is
particular,
the black
like
queen
you can
here? The black queen is there.
Underneath the mosquito, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. The thing I was going to say is, in this case, Simo is getting all this extra time back, which isn't really fair, right? Because he's getting 10 seconds for every pass, and that, honestly, I really think that's kind of a disadvantage to the player who's figuring out how to win with the shutout. It basically means that it disadvantages you from trying to get the shutout, especially in a rapid scenario. And it looks like they may go for a draw here, because neither player has enough pieces to really win effectively. It seems wrong to me, though. I feel like white or black should be able to win this.
He offered a draw.
Yeah, so that black...
Oh, no, white offered the draw. Black declined. Okay.
So black does have another hopper. So black should be able to close this out here pretty effectively, just releasing a pin. Oh, they took the draw.
No, offered and declined. Offered and declined.
It just listed.
What?
But then the game went to draw. Why did it force me? Oh, he moved the same piece 3 times.
Ah, okay.
We should tell them what happened there.
Are you entering it, John?
Yeah.
That is a danger when you have your opponent shut out.
Yeah, and I do think we should speak to David about trying to change the way that system works, and that if with the time controls, if we're going to keep running these, because there really is a unfortunate. Now, Detweiler could have avoided that if he knew that was going to happen, but still, I don't think it's fair for Simo to get 2 extra minutes of time just because he keeps hitting pass, and that puts pressure on then the shutting out player to like really work.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's because when you shut your opponent out, well, it's better now. But when you shut your opponent out, previously all they had to do was click done, and they used no time, and your time kept clicking downward. At least now you get to add 10 seconds each time.
But right, you can't do the same thing 3 times. And I think there's a thing about, I don't think it should be the case that Samo should be able, Samo should be able to gain time with this in this format.
When they pass.
Right, when they pass.
Right.
I just don't think, I think that should not happen.
So let's see, results in. Oh, Frasco beat Happy Kiwi. They must have gone and played it in a different room then.
Yeah, and reviewed.
They must have had something. Must have had a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they must have had a problem, and they went and opened another room.
Mm-hmm.
So Frasco, Quadlibet, and Stepanzo are the 3 that are at 3-0. Johnny Greencorn asks, who is the reviewer who has joined your stream? This is John Sandel. He plays under the name Apollo Q.
Hey, Johnny Greencorn. Was that on the Discord? Did he ask that, or was
no? That's on my YouTube channel.
YouTube channel, yeah, okay.
So if you want to see a good game, you can see the game I reviewed out of the tournament that John and I played. We ended up in a draw.
To both of our disappointments.
To both of our disappointments, absolutely.
Although a little less to mine, because I've never come close to drawing you before, and and I was playing black, so I feel a little less bad maybe than you did. But in any case. And both of us were, I think,
had bad draws in that tournament. I mean, that's the thing about Swiss. If you happen to get a top player in the first round or two, it can be really hard to climb back and to do well. So.
Well, what I think I learned from the way that Board Game Arena does their tie breaks as well, your draw has a lot to do with your tie break scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you lose, one of the tie breaks is opponent's points.
Right.
But the other thing I learned, which I never really knew exactly how Board Game Arena, I don't think that anybody knows how Board Game Arena does their tie breaks, but it looks like a win and a loss is more valuable than 2 draws in the Board Game Arena tie breaks.
That makes sense to me. But it also may have to do with if you're equal in points, average opponent might also be affecting that. Because that's also being tracked.
So you know what I'm talking about?
Yes. So I think it's number of wins is the first tie break, and then opponent's points is the second tie break.
And is it possible that there's also a third tie break, which shows if all those are equal, that your average opponent ranking is the third thing that affects?
I guess it's possible. Okay, round four pairings are up. Stepanzo and Quadlibet are the only 2 undefeateds. Max Shark is playing Frasco.
Ooh. Two good matches. We're once again headed to Frasco and Quadlibet as potential finalists. Yeah. And Frasco won last month. Is that right?
I believe December?
He did. Yeah. Frasco is a rapid chess player. I believe that's true. So
Johnny Greencorn says one of my first BGA Arena games was against Judoka.
Yeah. Yep. That sounds familiar. Uh-huh.
I remember when I could beat Judoka. Then he got good.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we've all had this. If you play for any length of time on BGA, you start to see those patterns. Like I probably played Max Shark 30 times before I could beat him once, and then it got to be where we're relatively able. He probably still has a slight advantage over me just because he plays so much more. But you know, Shaturik, another good player. Frasco, in particular with Hive, I know Frasco plays a lot of other games. He's a big time gamer, and my first couple of games with Frasco, I didn't feel like he was really a big challenge, and he has really gotten a lot better. So I mean, he's now up in that 700 caliber play. So.
Well, I have a comment, John. Why don't we go and watch one of the lower end games and see if sure. we can teach some of the viewers something from one of those games?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay,
do you want to do? Yeah, maybe we do either room 7 or 8. The
well, let's do Irel Duke and XT of 100.
That's a great call. Okay.
So let's see where they are.
Oh, it might already be over. Oh wait, no, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right.
They're in room 5.
Okay. Yep. It's just starting now, and I would just for people's frame of reference, X of 100 is learning. I know I've seen him improve a lot.
He has improved a lot. He was in the World Championship tournament last year as a relative beginner.
Yeah, and I mean I think he would be the favorite if I was picking between the two of these. Although Brian has also improved a lot lately and is doing well. Now this is interesting. Brian's choosing a kind of a non-traditional opening here by waiting to bring his queen out. And then putting his queen in line. So this is your coined term J opening here.
And then XT of 100 allowed his ant to get pinned, so that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Or not. Nope, he's attacking.
Right. So what I think is worth pointing out in this early game situation for those who are learning Hive is there's often this decision early on: do I go for controlled or do I go for attack? With free ants to pin other free ants, often control is a really straightforward decision. And there's reasons for doing the other thing. If you believe it, your opponent will get flustered. And so now...
See, it was summed up some time back by a player, this has been years ago, that said, surrounding your opponent's queen is not the goal in Hive, that's just how you win.
Mm-hmm.
Which adequately describes that control attack conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
And Ireal Duke is starting his attack with a beetle.
Mm-hmm. What's interesting also about this game so far to me is that neither player has brought a mosquito in.
Right.
And they are easily the most effective and essential bugs. Now, he does it there, but it's going to be pinned immediately. So I wonder about, essentially Brian's gone full attack here. The other thing is Black at X of 100 has the option to bring his mosquito in as an ant immediately here. So it will be an interesting decision to see. And especially next to the pill bug, making it harder to pin, or at least less ideal to pin.
Well, he just...
So you mentioned, oh yeah, the spider attacker. In your book, Randy, you mentioned this white J opening as a more effective and aggressive play for white, in that the white's defending bug is much less likely to be freed.
Right.
But it presents an easier attacking potential because it's harder to, or it's easier just for white to get pieces involved. More spawn points, basically.
Yeah, if Black did not take that opportunity to bring in the mosquito, white will get the...
This might be a spot for... ooh, I don't like this decision. Oh, too bad. So now white. Go ahead.
He's got to pin the white beetle.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I hope he's not watching.
Well, there's a little delay, right? It's a few seconds delay.
Yeah, not much though.
Oh, okay. Can you increase that, by the way? I feel like you can.
You can.
Okay. My prior to Hive, my game of strategic thinking was poker, actually, and there's been a bunch of online scuttlebutt about two top players in a grudge match playing each other heads up. I don't know how familiar you are, but very, very much like two players playing Hive for months at a time against each other. I mean, that kind of intensity. And both players are streaming their YouTube action live. So there's thousands of people around the world been watching this grudge match. And it's been incredible actually to see it play out. So
interesting. Real Duke is attacked with his pill bug.
Yeah. By the way, that for Brian's benefit, when he watches this later, that experience that just happened of the white, of allowing his white, allowing the opponent's queen to get worked out, is I mean, we can all, any player that's learning the game can learn from that. It's like attacking with that second ant essentially allowed that possibility.
Right. And now if we do a bug count, this is a very, very basic concept. So the white has separated the black queen from the pill bug, but white only has 3 bugs in reserve and has 4 kill spaces to fill.
Yep.
So
effectively all over but the shouting at this point. There's no.
Now this is
with a decent player.
Danger, however, because there is this big ring that what does Joe calls it? Joe calls it a hex trap.
The hex trap, the difference being though that in this case, even when black closes that hex, there's not really a
that white grasshopper doesn't have a place to go to.
It can't get it can maybe free the ant, but it won't be effective. So
right.
And by the way, I think that's exactly why X is taking his time here, is just like trying to really be clear. Okay, when I break this, when I form this ring, what's black's or white's best move, and how do I counter it? Could free the mosquito or try to free the mosquito, I guess, but that's still not going to matter.
So what Brian has to do is he has 1 ant that's possibly can defend, but that's not enough.
And Brian could fill the other 2. He could pin replace the ant for a moment just to bring a defender in. But I mean, if I was in his case, I would do that as well as consider just trying to get those other 2 bugs around the queen just to make it a little more complicated for X.
And this is one of the things when I play people on BGA, for example, and they want to resign. I have no problem with you resigning, but if you're interested in learning, watching a good player execute a good in-game strategy is important.
Yeah, and can you find complications? Because sometimes you will, even though it might not ultimately lead to a change. Can you slow them down? And that those learning moments are actually really helpful. In fact, I mean, just to give you, back to our top player, Joe and I had a several months sparring match where he would play a game against me in a friendly way. And he was really honest with me. He said, I actually won a few of those games. And he said, to be really clear, I'm just trying to put myself in bad situations and seeing if I can wriggle out of it. So okay. I mean, I appreciated that. He was honest about it. He didn't, he wasn't, I shouldn't take too much credit from winning a game against him in that case. But most importantly, the value of learning to do that was real, right? I mean, it was a valuable experience for me to try to beat him, even though he's trying not to lose. So.
Yeah, see, the situation here is the ring doesn't help white at all because the one ant that it does free is blocked in. And if the white grasshopper would move, then there's direct drop spots.
Interesting that he chose to move that beetle over as opposed to the beetle that might have freed
an ant.
I wonder if he was thinking about it that way, because now, of course, X has a direct drop there. Doesn't need it, but it's,
He's got multiple ways. He's got an ant or a grasshopper that can fill the penultimate spot.
Yeah. So Brian, by the way, Brian and I have had a friendly game for a while. This IRL, in real life Duke, and I think he is he's really had been focusing a lot on how to attack properly, and I think there'll be some good lessons for him in this game, and in that where he went for attack instead of control.
Francesco looks like he joined in made a comment on the
YouTube.
YouTube.
Oh, okay.
So, XT of 100 won this one. Let's go see how Quadlibet is doing. They're in room 2.
You said it was room 2?
Room 2, and Louise is watching. And Quadlibet has only got 2 minutes left. There's a big stack.
Yeah, and by the way, C opening, it would seem.
Yep. So where?
That looks like a pin replacement option.
So Stepanzo's pill bug is underneath the black beetle.
Mm-hmm. He went for the classic white mosquito pill bug proximity
attack.
Play. Yep. I really like that, and I find that I haven't figured out exactly how to use it effectively, but I've been studying games with that play, and it's really interesting to see it play out.
So where does Stepanzo get any attackers?
Well, he's got an ant now. Of course, Quad could try to pin it there, but doesn't really help him.
This is an interesting situation.
Yeah, and so he did decide to do that, or at least he's considering it. I guess it does have two benefits, right? It does force the white ant to stay there and attacks the white queen at the same time. So that's not a terrible thing. Nice choice of breaking the ring by Stepanzo. So that white, we expect that free white ant to be moved by Stepanzo on the next turn. Interesting. So quad reforms the ring that way. This is why C opening is so complicated, because you have all these choices about which piece to break the ring with.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. And now white has, if white was to climb there, he would have really no way to neutralize quad's pillbug. Because that would be an issue here. That's really what's being decided. Attack or defend.
I don't think Stepanzo has
any way to win.
No, he doesn't have enough bugs.
I mean, technically he has enough if they could all get into attacking position, but with an uncovered pillbug, it's just impossible, right? Like there's just no...
So Stepanzo's playing a anti-spawn defense, trying to figure out reduce his spawn points. So what's the danger of the black pill bug moving in between the two mosquito stacks? I don't think there's any problem there, is there?
I don't think it's... I think he moved the pillbug over so that he could place a hopper next to the pillbug, that instead of on top of the pillbug. Does that make sense? So
okay. Yep.
I think that was just to create an attacking... What does Joe call that? A line of attack or angle of attack?
Angle of attack, yep.
I think that's what that was about. I don't think he was trying to make another ring there. I mean, technically the pillbug could, get into attacking position next to the white queen, but honestly, I wouldn't imagine that happening. I mean, maybe it would be valuable. There's no easy way for the white with the white ladybug there. There's no easy way for the pillbug to form that ring and then the white queen to escape. Although now he's moving that ladybug, so.
So the So the final shot by white has to be the grasshopper jumping over in between the two mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
No, interesting.
It's not quite as hopeless for white as I had imagined, because there's still enough complication for white that he could yeah, he decided to drop it down again. And of course, Quad had to recover that mosquito for fear that that mosquito covers his pill bug.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. He was anticipating that play. Oh, it's so intense.
Yeah, these kinds of games. Minute and a half for Quadlibet, 2 for Stepanzo.
Mm-hmm. You can just feel their brains working overtime.
Yeah, Quadlibet has to move the ant, otherwise the ant gets warped in completely
right.
Useless.
Mm-hmm. Now on the attack. But I don't see an easy way to fill that last spot. So
Nope.
It's just, I mean, other than maybe a mistake with the pill bug, it's just going to be really tough to get that any kind of angle attack on that last spot. Yeah. I was imagining he would actually put the ladybug next to his queen again and free the or the black ladybug, so that at least the ants would have a chance to.
Oh, interesting. By the white ladybug going in there, now the white pillbug can move. Oh no, he's playing defense. That's interesting. Why there?
Oh, interesting. Rapid, rapid, rapid. So what's Quad's plan for filling the final spot upper left of the white pill bug?
Well, I think you can bring in a spider, but the pill bug can warp the ladybug away.
Right.
Or the black beetle can cross over and cover the black ladybug, anchoring it down.
That's his plan. That's his plan. Yep. There you go. Now Quad has to do a count. 1, 2, 3 to win. There's 1.
Oh, he's not.
He now doesn't need. But Stepanzo can recover the black beetle on top of the black ladybug, right? Oh, this is such a beautiful little game.
So, yeah. See, now the problem with Stepanzo, if he tries to pin the pill bug, is the pill bug then can always warp the ant in.
He'd have to anchor it with his last attacker.
Yep. Which would tie both of those bugs down.
Right. So there's a really clear counting happening for both of them right here. White
And-
still has a free attacker now with the free ant, to the bottom of the. So that's 1, 2, 3.
What is underneath the black
Stepanzo.
beetle?
It's the
The
mosquito.
mosquito.
So it can reclimb here. So 2 to win for Quadlibet from here if Stepanzo doesn't defend. And he likely will defend. Actually, well, interesting. So he defends there, and now,
He's got 2 spiders. Can he?
well, one spider can attack on this turn,
Right.
but it will get pinned. This may end up as a draw.
Quadlibet can't get his second spider in with an angle of attack, can he?
He could put the spider next to his pill bug.
Oh, yeah, he could put the
jump
spider,
the
spider next to
hopper
his
over.
pill bug and jump the grasshopper over.
Yeah, which is probably what he's thinking. The question is, Quad's wondering is how can Stepanzo defend that? Because he'll have a free ant after the placement of it.
So the grasshopper jumps over to attack, but it also frees the ant.
Right. So this may end up as a draw, honestly. I think that might be this might be the right outcome given how things played out here. And they're both out of time, right? So there's not a
Well, 39 seconds and 52 seconds, so it's not like they're horrible.
right.
So now all Quadlibet can do is jump the grasshopper back and forth.
Mm-hmm. And there's no way for Stepanzo to do. Can't leave either of those
No,
spiders.
it's a draw.
So this is a draw. It actually was a nice finish by both of them. They both had a chance to have the initiative in the last 15 moves. So, although I don't think Quad was ever really in danger of losing necessarily, but. Nope. Draw offered and accepted. And I suppose Frasco is reviewing his games. I think that's it. Oh, no, was reviewing.
Oh,
so-
Quadlibet declined the draw.
Really?
Yeah.
He thinks he has a way of winning? I should not be sound so surprised. By the way, I'm going to have to be stepping out after this game to get
Okay.
back to the fam. But
Yeah, I don't see that he has any chance.
you could walk the
Oh,
mosquito over.
Quadlibet offered it this time, so Stepanzo accepted it.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your time
Something
today,
going on.
John.
Yeah, thank you. What fun.
Enjoy your
I
day.
look forward to. Yeah, likewise. I look forward to hearing how the Frasco Quadlibet / maybe Kiwi final goes. Looks like.
So are you out shoveling snow?
No, today is it's a bright sunshiny day, and we didn't have any snow this week or the last couple of days. So or nothing that needed to be shoveled anyway. We get snow every day a lot, but not much. So. We're gonna go ice skating though this morning with my daughter. One of our neighbors has a little mini rink in their backyard, so we're gonna go over there.
Oh, nice.
And
Well, have a good time. Be safe.
Thank you. You too.
Talk to you later.
Have a good
Thanks for
week.
joining us this morning.
Cheers.
So round 4 should be just about over. So we'll be looking for the pairings for round 5 here very shortly. Thanks again to John Sandel for joining me this morning. So the last 2 rounds, it's just going to be me, it looks like. Waiting for the results from round 4. See if there's anybody still playing. So we scroll down through. Looks like they've all ended. So let's go over here and look at results submission for round 4. X of 100 beat the Real Duke. Square 623 beat Sturek. Roger beat Aria. Happy Kiwi beat Tricky. Hawk 81 beat Claudio. Soulful Marie beat Stretchy. Simo 5 beat Hot Rails. Detwild W beats Jarrell. And Quadlabet and Stepanzo ended with a draw. So let's see about round 5. So Frasco's no doubt working hard on round 5. Stepanzo and Quadlabet ended up tied. So did Frasco beat Max Shark? I don't remember. Let's go back and look. Frasco and Max Shark. They might still be playing. Let's go take a look. No? So Frasco and Max Shark, round 4. I don't see the results posted. Let's go down and see if we can find it in a review room. Game won by Frasco. Round 5, it's Frasco and Stepanzo. Frasco's leading, Stepanzo's at 3.5. Quadlabet is playing Happy Kiwi. So let's take a look. So just for everybody, if you're just now joining, this is the first leg of the 2021 Hive Rapid Grand Prix. Francesco Salerno, who plays under the name of Frasco, or Frasco 92, is hosting this tournament. It's going to be about every 2 months through the course of the year. It's a Grand Prix, meaning that you can win points in each tournament. And then at the end of the year, the top 4 are going to play in a knockout tournament for the declaration of the Rapid World Championship, the Rapid 2021 Hive Championship. So that'll be very interesting to see that. So round 5, Frasco against Stepanzo. So let's take a look, see if we can find where they're playing. Looks like in room 10. And I have to step away for 1 minute, so I will be back in just a minute. So I'm back. Round 5 has just started, so let's find the Frasco Stepanzo game. They're hard at it already. 12 moves in. So they both started with ladybugs. Frasco played the mosquito. Frasco chose a Z opening. Both pillbugs came out. Lots of ants. And we're up to date. So Frasco's flooding the area with ants. All 3 ants and the mosquito are out. Both pillbug and mosquito are in defensive position for both players. So Stepanzo's playing black, Frasco's playing white. It's Stepanzo's turn, and he brings in his last ant. That's interesting. Self-pinning the ladybug right there in the elbow sometimes can be dangerous. And in comes the white spider. I'm going to turn off the tracking of mice. Sometimes that can be distracting. Now, what's the purpose of that white spider? That's interesting. Stepanzo looking to possibly play a defending grasshopper. Nobody has brought in a beetle yet. That's always critical as the first player to bring in the beetle. By Frasco moving his ant and pinning with the ant, allowed Stepanzo to pin the mosquito. But of course now Frasco can complete the pin replacement and free an ant, because quite often these games will hinge around beetles and getting beetles up. And right now, if Frasco completes the pin replacement, each player will have 2 mobile ants Interesting. He did not complete the pin replacement. He brought in a beetle. And Stepanzo brought in a beetle. And both beetles climb up. The beetles are facing off. Frasco uses the pillbug power with the mosquito to move the ant out of the way, and now the white mosquito will be threatening to come up or threatening to attack the queen. Nope, he just covers. They're both playing fairly quickly with the 10-second increments. Stepanzo still actually has more than 5 minutes to play. Frasco has 4 1/4. So time is not an issue right at the moment. And what did... So the white mosquito covered a black ant. The white pillbug is in defensive position, and 2 white beetles are defending. But the question is, does Frasco have an ability to get one of those 3, either the 2 beetles or the mosquito, over into attacking position to qualify for the win? And Frasco has to also be careful because right currently his queen is being covered by his own beetle. So as far as bugs in reserve, Frasco has 3 grasshoppers and a spider. Stepanzo has 2 grasshoppers and a spider. Of course, the white spider, the threat from the white spider was pinning the black beetle. And Frasco brings in a grasshopper, also making a threat to pin the beetle. He uses the grasshopper to jump across and free the white ant. But interestingly, white has set up the pin replacement at the top of the hive, but hasn't ever executed it. Gets the black beetle pinned. And that, of course, frees the black beetle again. So here we are in round 5. I am going to move these over here. This is pair number 1. Frasco is 4-0. Stepanzo is 3.5. The second pair has Quadlibet playing Happy Kiwi. And the third pair has Square 623 playing Hawk 81. As the hive gets spread out, I've got to shrink it here a little bit so we can see. Stepanzo brings up his second beetle. Like I mentioned earlier, Frasco's in danger as long as his beetle is on top of his queen. But Stepanzo doesn't have any good attackers. And right currently, neither of them have any free ants. Although Frasco could do a pin replacement, but then Stepanzo could just jump out with the grasshopper and pin the ant. If I had to venture a guess here, I would say that right currently, Frasco has a slight advantage. He has the ability of possibly doing a pin replacement to free this ant. He also has this mosquito atop the hive, which if he spawns a bug to pin that ant, then that would free the mosquito. What Frasco could also do as a consideration is he could take this beetle. If the beetle climbs up, the black beetle just covers it. Okay? Frasco could take this beetle and walk it around. Interesting. Where is that grasshopper going? Frankly, I thought the black grasshopper was in a better position here. Okay, interesting. A little mosquito pill bug harassment here. So Stepanzo warps out the queen. Now, is there any way that Frasco is going to be able to come up with enough bugs to win? Interesting. So Frasco has less than a minute, so he's playing fairly quickly. If Stepanzo escapes with the queen, I think I would want to keep my queen next to the pill bug as well. Okay, David Denoy asks how the queen can jump out. So let me respond to that. The pill bug can move her away. So I turned away for a minute, so let me back up here and see what just happened while I was answering the question on I think this looks an awful lot like a draw. Two beetles facing off here in the center of the hive. Neither of them can move forward. Okay, has the possibility of dropping a grasshopper here and freeing the ant. I don't think there's any way even if all the white bugs were missing, black would have two beetles and a grasshopper. That's three. They would need four. I don't think they can come up with four. Is there any way to perform a squeeze? Put the opponent in bug's wang. Not as long as they both have two beetles atop the hive. When looking at situations like this, you're always looking for ways that you can free more valuable bugs. Look at the scenario here at the top of the hive. Notice how the white ant, the black mosquito, and the white spider are all in line. That's extremely difficult to free the black mosquito. Note, however, in this position here, the black ant is in an elbow, and the black ant here is in an elbow. So if either one of these critical spots here or here can be filled, it could possibly free a black ant. And so that's what Stepanzo does. But note it, here is the wisdom of the white grasshopper. What the white grasshopper did when it jumped in, that kept the black ant pinned in place. Now, can the black spider do anything good? 1, 2, 3. So you did not want the mosquito to get free. Looks like another draw to me. Because the scenario is with all 4 beetles this close, yep, I don't see any way. What happened there? Okay. Is it possible, let's see, if Stepanzo could walk the beetle? Could Stepanzo walk the beetle out here, cover the mosquito, and then bring in the grasshopper? That will be interesting. Stepanzo's playing like he has a plan. Frasco only has 30 seconds. Frasco offered a draw. Stepanzo declined it. He must have a plan. Yep. See, this is what you have to do in situations like this, is look for ways that you can free up bugs. Now what has to happen is Stepanzo has to move the... Oh, he's coming with his second beetle. interesting. I was thinking he was using it to free up the grasshopper, but he used it to free up the pill bug. But I still don't think that he has the bugs necessary to win. Now that frees the mosquito. But what can you do with it? I guess he could theoretically come out here and replace the pin on the white ant and then let the spider attack. But I don't think there's any really much chance of Stepanzo coming up with an attacking plan. Nor do I think Frasco can either. So these in-game puzzles can be quite interesting. Is there a way? I don't think either one of them can be put in Bug's Wing either, because although the white spider is continuing to attack. Same 05, he's actually watching. He's actually playing in the tournament as well. This looks like a dead draw. I think Stepanzo is trying to bait Frasco into a mistake. That could very well be. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I am going to go look at the other of the two top players. That would be Quadlibet and Happy Kiwi. They're all watching. We have a huge group watching. Quadlibet beat Happy Kiwi. That puts Quadlibet at 4.5. Yep, I think it is a dead draw. So even if Stepanzo gets the mosquito up, I don't think he has enough bugs to win. The question will be, is there any way that he can put Frasco in Bugswang? I don't think so. See, neither player can put the other in Bugswang as long as they have the pill bug that can move back and forth without danger. So they did end up accepting the draw. Stepanzo offered it. Frasco accepted it after 145 moves. Good game, guys. So let's go to see, are there any other games playing? Doesn't look like it. Nope, that looks like it. Results of submission of round 5. Let's see. Claudio beat Drike. Hot Rails beat Arhag. Roger beat Stretchy. Simo 5 beat XT of 100. Hawk 81 beat Square 623. Sturrock beat Detweiler. Quadlabet beat Happy Kiwi. Max Shark beat Sofal Remy. So it'll be interesting to see what the standings look like after round 5. Frasco and Quadlabet at the top, but they've played already. So, waiting for the result, waiting for the pairings on round 6. Frasco's not only, let's see, Samo5 says, now it is for sure with the Beatles gone, either side doesn't have enough bugs, and you can't punish shuffling because there's no pieces. Sorry about that, everybody. My Zoom room closed on me accidentally, so I had to spend some time getting it back up and going. Here we are in round 6. Frasco against Quadlibet. Top of the order, 4.5 points apiece. Hawk 81 against Aponza, 4. So we're going to get the Frasco Quadlibet game. Sorry about that break in the action, guys. All of a sudden I got a message that said Zoom room closed after 40 minutes of inaction. No action. So I've got to every once in a while do something in the Zoom room. So here we go. Frasco versus Quadlibet for the championship for today's first Winter Hive Rapid tournament. Quadlibet opened with a buffer opening. What happens with a buffer opening is you play something like a spider, which takes your regular start bug, the ladybug in this case, gets it one step further away, puts a buffer between you and your opponent. I'm also going to have to spend a minute here to get my YouTube channel back up so I can see the comments. Quadlibet very quickly got a beetle up. And Frasco's thinking. Okay, I think I'm back up and running. I apologize for that. I don't know why Zoom closed, but it did. So Frasco's doing a good job of getting a bunch of ants and mosquito up. Quadlibet hasn't even played his pill bug yet. One thing I have learned about Quadlibet, though, is he has ways of getting his pill bug into place when you think that you have blocked off spawn points for his pill bug. He still comes up with a way to get it into his queen to defend. And that's very interesting that Frasco elected to attack with the mosquito. And Quadlibet continues marching forward with the beetle. Now the question is, will Quadlibet be able to get his pill bug into play? So what is Frasco going to do here? Of course, one of the dangers is the black beetle continuing out and covering the white queen. That kind of locks down the white ant, because if the white ant moves, then you've got a bunch of direct drop spots. He does that to keep the mosquito from moving forward. And like I said, Quadlibet has the ability of doing things like pushing the pill bug right here and moving the pill bug into defensive position. So we will see what will happen here. Qualibet is one of the best at complex bug counting. That's one of his strong points. So even though he does not have a defending pill bug next to his queen, I'm sure he's calculating, can he afford to attack? Or does he need to be looking at a defense? But he's got 2 ants still in reserve as well. So that's one of the nice things about this game is the balance between placing new bugs and moving bugs that you already have in the hive. The balance between attack and defense, perfect balance. So congratulations to John Yanni. Good job for designing this game. And the pill bug actually balanced out the first 2 expansions, the ladybug and the mosquito. So white, even though white has 3 ants in play and the mosquito, all 4 of which are movable, all of those bugs are somewhat tied down right currently. If this ant moves, then the black beetle comes over and covers the queen. If this ant moves, the white mosquito moves forward. If this ant moves, then the black pill bug comes in. And the same with the mosquito. So is Frasco going to attack? Let's take a look at some of his attacking options. He's got 2 beetles. But both beetles can easily be pinned by black ants. And this spot right here, okay, he's bringing in his first beetle. Now, Quadlibet has a couple options. He can go ahead and pin the... Interesting. He could pin the beetle. If we were doing a bug count, white would have 1, 2, 3. White could actually do it in 3. So he's going to stop one of the ants. But that allows the white beetle to get up. I never question Quadlibet's bug counting ability. Black needs 4, white needs 3. But these 2 kill spots are protected by the gate here. So Frasco goes ahead and attacks. See, that's the other thing to think about as well. If white attacks this spot, that frees the ladybug. In comes another ant. So black needs 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. He doesn't have enough bugs to attack yet. He needs to bring in one more. So if white attacks with the ant moving to here, then white does not have a method of filling that last spot. The black ladybug could switch from defense to attack, which would potentially free the black queen, which would force white to waste a turn to cover the black queen. So this is an interesting situation here. Frasco goes a little bit defensive. Preparing to attack and free the mosquito to attack. Yep, and now a grasshopper there. One or the other of these grasshoppers is going to end up in that spot. So, grasshopper to there, mosquito to there. And all of a sudden, quadruped is now on the attack. But can not just the grasshopper, but the ladybug as well. So all of a sudden, quadruped is starting to flood the hive with bugs. Frasco has 7 bugs still in reserve. And I'm going to turn off the mice. If my memory serves me correctly, these two met in the finals of the last Rapid tournament as well, with Frasco winning. So quadruped probably has some desire to overcome that. So if Frasco climbs up with the beetle, that would allow 2 direct drop spots. He could jump there, and there would be 2, 3. So let's talk about quadruped's possibilities of winning. Grasshopper to here is 1. Mosquito to there is 2. ant to there is 3, beetle 4. So, whoops, what happened here? Oh, Frasco resigned. Oh, Frasco win overtime. So Frasco went over and Quadlibet won on time, but I think Quadlibet had a winning situation. So let's go take a look at another game. See if Stepanzo is still playing. Stepanzo and Hawk 81, here we go. So Quadlibet won the first one with 5.5. So let's look at time. Stepanzo has 5 minutes. Hawk has only 44 seconds left. We're at turn 71. Let's see where the white queen is. The white queen is there. Stepanzo has it covered with the black beetle. Does he have the... He needs to fill 2 spots. Nope. Hawk can't win. I don't think. So this looks like a win for Stepanzo. Congratulations, Stepan. Hawk 81 needs three bugs, and he's only got 2. And Stepanzo covers it. Yeah, this is all over but the crying. Congratulations, Stepan. I don't see any way that Hawk 81 can win this. Plus, he's very short on time. And he just went overtime. So Hawk 81 resigned on time. Stepanzo had 5 minutes to go, so congratulations, Stepan. So let's go take a look at the Let's see, Max Shark and Simo or Happy Kiwi, square 623. Max Shark. They're reviewing, they're reviewing, they're reviewing. Reviewing. So round 6, Claudio beat Sturek. Drike beat Roger. Happy Kiwi beat Square 623. Quad Labette beat Frosco. Stretchy beat XT of 100. Oria beat Arhag. Starel beat Hot Rails. Max Shark beat Simo 5. Detwile beat The Real Duke. Stepanzo beat Hawk 81. So we're waiting right now for Frasco to publish the official results. So I'll put a little note over here, congrats. I don't think there are any games yet playing. So let's scroll through real quickly again. So we'll wait for Frasco to publish the final result, but I think the tournament has come to a conclusion. Quad Labette, 3 times world champion, has won the first Winter Hive Rapid tournament and gains points for the Grand Prix, which will be taking place throughout the course of the year. So what I'm going to do is let's go look at So let's take a look in general. So I believe that's it for everybody. We're waiting for the official final standings to be published by Frasco. But it looks like Quad Labette, 3 times world champion, has won the tournament. So congratulations, Quad Labette. And thanks everybody for watching this evening. So we're just waiting for the final results to be officially posted by Frasco. I'm sure he's working on it right now. I don't know if there is a... So everybody, I truly appreciate you all watching this evening. I am going to have to end the stream here very shortly. So thank you very much for watching, and congratulations to Quadlibet. Be watching for the Hive news being published here very soon, and continuation of the Hive Lexicon series. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, this is Randy Ingersoll saying so long.